All right. So, it's get the motor down in the engine compartment today and off the floor and out of the way. So we pretty much have everything together here. We're getting our brackets cleaned up. We're finding our bolts like I was going over in the last video. I got these other lower brackets. Here's our battery tray bracket, our starter, our intermediate axle bracket. You know, all this stuff sitting here. We got to get out a couple more bolts. But we're getting to the point where what needs to be bolted onto this engine is going to be bolted on. And we're going to be setting it down in. So like I said, we're just working on getting this stuff on. We have our upper alternator bracket, power steering bracket, lower alternator bracket. There's our trans mount bracket. That goes with that one. We can get the transmission bolted up the rest of the way. Nice clean newer starter. Intermediate. I got to get out an alternator heat shield, which I might be able to do that stuff after it's down in, but I want to try to get the alternator on now first anyway. And we're going to put on our ATI super dampener. So, I mean, with that being said, we got a couple threads to clean up. We got to dig out the favorite happy stuff of anti-seize. And we can start bolting things onto this block and this transmission assembly to get it in. Immediate shaft is on, alternator, all the brackets across the back, all the brackets across the front, and guess what? Chain's on and we're going in. So maybe I can get someone to hold the camera and we'll get this thing put in.
Watch this one. Over here, hold on. Pinching. Alright.
Yeah, push back and down.
Yeah, that side goes back and down and this side comes up. I'm just trying to... Alright. Then it should be getting close to turning. Yep, alright, cool. Now that'll go down and then I push it this way. Easier does it. No more. Right there.
We need a jack.
Okay.
Get the edge of this off.
Now we can come up just a... Yeah. We'll have to come up a little bit.
Back.
Watch it plug.
Go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at, bud?
Keep on coming. Alright.
Yes, sis.
Right there, so jack needs to come up a little bit. And then the engine horse, maybe. Go in. Awesome.
Ta-da! I know I'm gonna have to grind down tabs out of there.
Yeah, on both sides.
They need ground out. All right, with a little help, we got the motor down in. We got our bracket on. Like I said, anti-seize on everything. Torque solution, motor mounts in. We have the SDK solid mount on this side. Just kind of threw everything in. I got the power steering up out of the way. I took the time to get my DCR axles in. So that stuff's taken care of. Try to show you on this side too. Up in here, there's DCR axle. I actually have the intermediate axle bearing, that's on there also. But everything's together. This thing's only halfway in the garage, and it's raining today, so I'm finally at the point where I have it together enough right now. There's still a lot of stuff that needs going over. We're gonna get this thing pulled in, repositioned on the lift. We're gonna get our shifter cables installed next. Get ready basically to, get this turbo installed. Getting more parts on this thing. Figuring out what we don't have. And just like cleaning everything up, you know what I mean? Just getting everything off the floor and out of the way. So, that, and I really want to see how that wire tough harness is going to fit too. I gotta block this one off. I gotta block that one off. This needs to come off, get cleaned, and resealed and everything too also. But yeah, I mean, very nice to finally see this thing down in this engine bay. Very, very nice. All right, so it's been a long day. Yesterday we actually got the motor down in. I got everything jacked up here right now. All the axles are in. Everything's assembled there. The wheels are all back on. Transmission mount. I got the shifter cables installed, and as you notice, we did get to install our turbo. I had an older AGP style heat shield, so I just like the look of it. I don't know how much you're going to see once I have the heat shield here in the way, but this is the turbo that we have installed. We just did new magnet, new cam sensor, like we did the crank. What else? All these bolts were cleaned, everything's assembled. I gotta dig out some heater core hoses. We got, that's new, that's installed for the air conditioning. The alternator's on, the O2 housing's on. I did just clean up the lines for the coolant, and this is our charge tube. I already had that cut and pre-made for this turbo. Here's the rest of our bolts for our upper motor mounts. But, I mean, slowly coming together here. Let's check everything out underneath. Right here. Okay. You can see the axles. I got this stuff all bolted together here. That stuff's bolted. That's bolted. Everything is in together. Let's take a peek up on the top side here. Let's see if we got, I don't know if this is gonna pick up enough light, but return, feed, all that stuff's tightened up. Everything's in place. So I can work on starting to run even some more stuff. I got to get the exhaust, something done with the exhaust so I can get that installed. And then that'll be everything almost under here. I mean, I'm still waiting on the fuel system. So, little by little, I have been picking away at this. I didn't get too much video. I kind of feel like I'm running on a little bit on some of these. I know I probably showed this before. Here's our wastegate. We got to get this installed. Down through here. If I read this right, it's set up for 14.5 psi already inside. So I don't know if I'm going to go with this one or the precision one that I have. So I might pull out the precision. I do have another tile wastegate I could use. So I'm going to have to find something with a good bit of adjustability depending on what I end up doing. So I'm still kind of up in the air whether this is something that I want to use, because this one doesn't come with a bunch of springs like most of them do. So We might be using a different one. Just, it's nice to be able to have some choices. I'm going to try to pick what I think is going to work out best from the get-go. But we're going to get that on. I got to get the condenser, the AC condenser, get it mounted onto the rad. Make sure all that stuff's going to clear down in through here, because this has these aftermarket this has a modified bracket set up down here. And then we can get that on. There's our hose for our check valve. Nice silicone hose. So that'll be mounted down over this way. Not quite 100% sure which way that's going to go. I'm kind of curious to see how the rad, the fans, and the intake are all going to fit. I got a nice battery tray I'm going to put down here. I still got to dig out a couple things. Got to figure out ways to block off the lines that I'm not going to be using to feed the oil cooler down here, because we're deleting that. That's another thing I got to get installed. So I got to dig that out for down there. I just kicked my anti-seize. Oh well. So yeah, till the next one. Hopefully I can end that there as being the engine install. So far, there is a bunch of little things that I'm going to be taking care of on this car. I'll try to make some small videos on till we get to the point of getting some of the stuff that we're waiting to come in on order. Just seems to be quite the norm. So I mean, there's so many little things. I've got another day yet to play with this thing, and there'll be another video, and hopefully I'll have most of the stuff bolted on this thing that needs to be bolted on. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if this intercooler is going to work out for me. I have another one that I might end up putting on, but we're all going to play that by ear and see what happens. So, see ya.